All right, thank you. Good evening, and welcome to First Sunday Jazz. I know this is a little bit different. We're not at Luigi's. The band isn't here. I don't have my trumpet. There are no special guests. But this is our day to get together. And I didn't want it to pass by without taking the opportunity to reach out to our musical family and tell you how much we appreciate you and how much we miss you and care about you and how much we look forward to being together again. I would especially like to thank all of those of you who have faithfully attended First Sunday Jazz since the very beginning. You know who you are. You were there in the beginning, and I just can't thank you enough for sticking around all these years that we've done this. For those of you out there who may be watching for the very first time, who might just be stumbling across this on Facebook, my name is Tivis, and I'm a musician here in College Station, Texas. I've been here about 20 years. Before that, I traveled professionally for many years. And I came from Oklahoma City areas where I learned to cut my teeth playing jazz. And it's very much of a jazz city, Oklahoma City is. And a lot of jam sessions. You know, I could go to the jam session almost any night of the week. And it's the same here in Texas, in Houston, and in Austin. There are ongoing jam sessions that have been around for years. At the Elephant Room in Austin, there's a jam session on Monday nights that's been going for 25 years. So, you know, I always thought it'd be a cool thing to start a jam session here, a jazz jam session. And I had seen a few come and go in town. People had tried different things, tried to get one going. But in about 2009, I had the idea. There was a new place opening downtown Bryan by a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, Chandler Arden, was opening a wine bar called Downtown Uncorked. And what I was thinking is, you know, the word jazz can kind of be a scary word, but everybody loves New Orleans jazz. So I was thinking of more of a New Orleans jazz-based jam session. Instead of being a weekly thing, since this is kind of a small town, maybe if we just did it a monthly thing. And so the first Sunday in December in 2009, we started at Downtown Uncorked. I talked to Chandler. The Downtown Uncorked had opened on October the 31st of 2009. So they were only a couple of months into their brand new business. And I said, hey, you know, let's try this out and see how it goes. And it went great. Matter of fact, if you go on YouTube, after this is over tonight or something, or when you have time, you go on YouTube and you just Google Downtown Uncorked Jazz Jam. There's a couple of clips on there from the very first night that somebody took with their phone. I don't know. The audio's not that great. My cat's going crazy. He doesn't know what's going on. But there's a couple of clips on there, and a good friend of mine from Canada happened to be in town that night, Leila and Daria, who's a phenomenal musician. She was there, and Kelsey was there. And if you go to looking for that on YouTube, you might also run across, in that same search, another video that is something I put together a few years after that. The title of the video is Greg Tivis Nolans, Nawlins, Jazz Jam, Downtown Uncorked, where I took a bunch of pictures from the early years of the jam that people had given me. Clifford Fry took a bunch of pictures and sent to me, and pictures that people had sent me over the first few years, and I put them together in a pictorial. So for you longtime jazz jam fans, if you want to see some old pictures of yourself and see what it was like in the early days of First Sunday Jazz, that's a good place to check it out there. So you can go on YouTube and look at that. Anyway, like I said, this is a little bit different for sure. And when I mentioned this, when I sent out the email and said that I was going to be doing this, right away I got some emails and asked about tipping. You know, how can we see Phil and all that? You know, and I appreciate the sentiment, but I'm not doing this to solicit donations or tips. I just wanted to play. That's what I do. And I wanted to reach out to you, my musical family. Now, of course, if you wanted to buy a CD on my website and give it to a friend, I could probably live with that. And of course, I know there's some of you out there who are going to do something no matter what I say. So I do have a PayPal account under Greg Tivis, so you can go there. But if you do something like that, please don't tip any more than what you would normally give at the jazz jam session. $5 or $10 or whatever is sufficient. Because like I said, I'm not doing this for the money. I would much rather, let's focus on supporting these businesses that support music, live music in this town, and really all the businesses that are shut down right now. This is a difficult thing, but certainly our friends over at Luigi's, our gracious hosts, who have been there, Duilio and Andreas, and the whole family. They're a beautiful family. And so I'm sure they would appreciate hearing from you, maybe getting an order from you for a family-sized lasagna or whatever. Jonathan, that's your cue, by the way, Duilio. But anyway, all the restaurants in town, of course, Chef Tay and Christina have been very good to me over the years. Thanks to them, I didn't have to go back out on the road. So I've been here playing. So, of course, Veritas is closed right now, but you can support them through their other restaurant adventures, Apollo's and Urban Table and Madden's. But anyway, Duilio sent me a little gift today, a musical gift, so we're going to let him share a little something with you via video that he sent me. Get John in place here. Here's a little musical thing from Duilio for you to enjoy. Thank you, John. And thank you, Duilio. What a great tune. Petite Fleur, a great Sidney Bechet. recorded I think in about 1952. Anyway, Julio's been a great friend for many years and certainly a great player. It's great to have him. I know we missed playing together. We had originally planned to do this together tonight, but the circumstances being what they are, social distancing guidelines are in place. Before I get on with playing some tunes for you, I want to give you a little cheer here. You know, like I said, we started back in 2009 at downtown Cork. Here's one of the early posters, if you can zoom in on that, best you can. Is when we left downtown on Cork, Chandler signed that poster and gave it to me. There we are, the Aggieland Dixie Band. That's what we were known as when we played it for A&M a lot, back when Julio was with and I were playing in an ensemble for A&M. Then after a few years there, we moved over to the LaSalle Hotel. I know some of you remember that. Can you see that? Down in the dungeon. Actually, that's a very nice lounge now, the Speakeasy, they have it. And here's a picture down here that the Eagle took when they ran a very nice story about us on our 5th anniversary. Of course, now we've surpassed our 10th anniversary. That was a cool thing and a very nice write-up they gave us. Over on this side, we were playing in the basement of the LaSalle. It was a very plain, dark-looking place, so we had to dress it up a bit. And that's where Margaret and I went out shopping for all these cool jazz posters that she panned across a minute ago. And of course, Margaret has set up a lovely display of food and wine, kind of get us in the spirit of First Sunday Jazz here. Here's Phil, of course. You keeping up with me, cameraman? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. This, I wanted to mention this. You know, this $2 bill, I don't know if you can see it there. But when I was playing at the Briarcrest Country Club years and years ago, not long after I came into town here, one of the first people I met there was a gentleman named John Antoine and his wife, Mary Ann. And he always had $2 bills on him. That's what he always tipped with. This one is one of the ones he gave me back in 2003. It's a special one to me. I carry it in my wallet all the time. He came to every First Sunday Jazz until he passed away just a couple years ago. Great guy, big jazz fan. Gave me some great jazz records. I miss him dearly to this day. Anyway, let's get on with some music. I'm going to start off with some Duke Ellington for you. One of my favorite tunes from the 30s called Nude Indigo. The only song I ever recorded twice, so I love it so much. That's why I'm wearing this top hat, by the way, because this is the way Duke Ellington dressed. First class, always. great tune. I love that tune for sure. You know, Duke Ellington started his band way back in 1923, believe it or not. And he was the leader of that band for over 6 decades. The band saw some good times and some hard times. They kept plowing on ahead after the end of the big band era and into the late 40s. And by the time they entered the 50s, the band was in hard times, losing money. Duke Ellington was funding the band out of his own pocket. And then an amazing thing happened at the Newport Jazz Festival in 1956. They enjoyed a great comeback. And one of the songs, the last pop hit that Duke Ellington had, was a song written in the 50s called Satin Doll. I'm going to send this one out to my little girl, although she's not little anymore, she's all grown up. My dear Jamie. Satin Doll, yeah, the last great pop hit from Duke Ellington. Kevin Duff asked, how do we tip? Well, I already explained that. No tipping, please. So, although I do have a PayPal account if you insist. Greg Tivis. Okay?
Yeah. Read the other ones.
Anyway, that's one of my favorite songs. That's a song that Jamie danced to. You know, I shouldn't even mention her name because, you know, when I first thought about doing this, it's getting a little hot. I said, I thought to myself, my first idea was I was going to do a night of requests. You know, I know what everybody's favorite songs are. But the more I thought about it, you know, two major problems with that. One, the show would take a lot longer than an hour if I played everybody's request. And two, inevitably, I would leave somebody out. And I don't want to do that for sure. So, certain songs, certain people like, and you'll know who you are. But anyway, I'm not taking I decided not to do a night of requests because inevitably I would hurt somebody's feelings recently, and I don't want to do that. Why not keep grabbing this mic that's ahead? Sorry. Anyway, that first song I did while Mark was scanning around was Ain't Misbehaving by Fats Waller, who was one of the earliest great jazz piano players. And he wrote that song. Actually, he wrote the score for a musical, and that was part of it. That was the opening theme of the musical. The musical was called Connie's Hot Chocolates. It was in 1929. Later, there would be a film production of that. And the title was just Hot Chocolates. And in the Broadway production, Louis Armstrong was the orchestra director down in the pit, and the song Ain't Misbehaving called for a trumpet solo. And the trumpet solo was so popular with the audience that it wasn't long before they asked him to come up on stage and be part of the show on stage. And so naturally, when they did the film production of Hot Chocolates, Louis Armstrong played a bartender and played that song. There's a documentary out there that we used to watch for years on my birthday called Satchmo, a documentary about Louis Armstrong. And there's some clips in there from that era. Anyway, it's a really cool thing. Fats Waller, of course, was a phenomenal piano player. He wrote a lot of different stuff. I'm going to do something a little different for you right now. One of his other compositions that he wrote and played on the theater organ, a little different than I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it more Oscar Peterson style. But here's a Fats Waller composition called The Jitterbug Waltz, one of my favorites. This is not unlike a lot of gigs I played before. No response, no applause. I played a lot of gigs, thousands of gigs. People ask me how I know some of these songs. Well, back in the 80s, if you can remember those days, I played 36 months straight of 5-night-a-week, 3-hour a night solo piano gigs. Played 18 months at Norma Jean's in Nichols Hills, and then on to another 18 months at the Florida Cafe out on the Northwest Expressway, playing happy hour gigs on grand pianos, playing jazz in these jazz lounges of the restaurants. And that's a lot of playing. 3 hours a night, 5 nights a week. So I had plenty of time to learn the songs, and plenty of times, sometimes you get good response, sometimes crickets. That's the way it goes in the business. You win some, you lose some, I've learned over the years. It was an invaluable experience. And it was great because it was an early gig and I could still go out and play the late night jazz gigs as well in Oklahoma City before I took off on the road. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. I got to do this because I just have to. It's one of the most requested songs we get. I recorded it on my very first CD, which I have a copy of the original CD sitting there on the next to Phil. Here is the St. James Infirmary. to know I died standing pat. Amen, amen. Oh, let's see, let's go. All right, let's liven that up a little bit. Here's for you jazz students of mine and jazz fans. There's a great old standard called I Remember You. A tricky little set of chords. Favorites. I Remember You, for sure. You know, I love playing First Sunday Jazz at Luigi's, and it's always a blast to see everybody. It's always a big party. You know, it's always a good time had by all. Which makes me think of back in the early days of jazz, they didn't know what to call it. The word jazz hadn't been invented yet, so they just called it good time music, and I like that because we're all having a good time. It's a great social gathering, and like I said, we've all become like family. But the atmosphere is not very conducive to playing ballads, and I love ballads, and I thought I would play a couple for you tonight. And there's so many it's hard to choose from. I'm just going to kind of pull some stuff out and see what happens. But this first one here, I said I wasn't going to play a request, but this makes me think of my good friend Virginia, Susan's mom, and I wonder how she's doing. Anyway, this is one of her favorite songs. It's called Deep Purple. way too many to play in one sitting. We go on and on and on. Let's just play a couple of the big daddies though. Song of the 20th century.
Good
I
Albert.
love that. My mom always said I didn't need any friends. I could entertain myself for hours. Anyway, this sure has been fun. I miss seeing you all, you guys. Let's see. I know we're about out of time. Let me squeeze in a couple more here. Any fans of the movie When Harry Met Sally out there? I'm gonna ditch this coat and trade my hat. Here's a song from that movie made popular by Harry Connick. Cute little tune called A Wink and a Smile.
Yeah.
I back. You can rev up, don't go slow. It's only green lights and all rights, so we go together. I like a wink and a smile. Now my heart is music, such a simple song. I sing it again, the notes never end. This is where I belong. Just the sound of your voice, the light in your eyes. We're so far away from yesterday together. I like a wink and a smile. We go together. I like a wink and a smile. That was for my baby there. Yes, thank you. I know we're about out of tune, about out of time. Not out of tunes, got plenty of tunes. About out of time tonight. I did want to mention the Jazz Society. I got two more announcements to make. We were just about to roll. For those of you who are members of the Jazz Society, the Brazos Valley Jazz Society is a new form of nonprofit. We formed it in the middle of last year. If you're not a member, you can check out our website at bvjazz.org. And we were just fixing to roll out some big announcements that we have, some great plans that we have for this year when all this thing hit. But you card holding members out there that are wondering whatever happened with that, believe me, we haven't forgotten about you. And we're going to get back to matter of fact, I'll send out a communication tomorrow, kind of bring you up to date on that. But we do have some big plans, some exciting things planned this year for the Jazz Society, bringing some great acts to town. Another thing I just wanted to mention, these are strange times, difficult times for many. It's good, like I said earlier, it's a good time to call a friend if you haven't, if that phone call is overdue, or even if it's not overdue, just call a friend. Check on your elderly neighbors, your elderly friends. If you're healthy and able, see if you can do something for them. Run an errand for them, go to the grocery store for them, pick something up for them, mow their yard, or whatever that might be, whatever you might be able to do for them. But there's a lot of people just trapped in their houses right now, especially the older crowd that are, understandably afraid to go out. So this is a good time to think about them and get out there and do something for them if you can. If nothing, cook them a meal and leave it on their doorstep, or bake them something, some cookies or whatever, just leave it on their doorstep and just knock on the door or whatever. And there's lots of things you can do. There's a great shortage of blood right now. Giving blood is another way that you can really help in this situation. There's a lot of people who are in desperate need of blood, and there's a great shortage of blood donation right now. And it's very safe to give blood, and it's something you should think about doing if you're able to do that. Anyway, let's see where I'm at. Obviously, going to have to cut some tunes from my list there. As always, I have an ambitious list. Let's see. We might go 5 weeks over. I hope that's all right with everybody, because I feel a sermon coming on. I'm going to play some blues. see you. Can't wait to see you in person. And soon. You know, we're all going to get through this. We're going to come out on the other side stronger and better than ever. I love you. God bless. We'll see you next time. Send those now to Kim, a couple blocks away. If you ever plan to motor west, travel my way, the highway that's the best. I get your kicks on Route 66, where she winds from Chicago to LA. More than 2,000 miles all the way. Get your kicks on Route 66. She goes to St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, Oklahoma City. Looks mighty pretty. You'll see Amarillo, Maryland, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingman, Boston, San Bernardino. I get hit this time mid-tip when you make that California trip. Get your kicks on Route 66 down now. When the saints go marching in, when the saints go marching in, Lord, I want to be there now. When the saints go marching in, oh, when the saints go marching in, Lord, I want to be in that number. Good night.
For you.
Thank you, my love. See you next time.
Finish?